Hi there, this is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Today's video is entitled, Your Kids Want You to Quit Drinking. And I very nearly didn't make this video. In fact, I've put it off for 2 days now. I put the blog post up 2 days ago. Normally I make the video the same day. And I wasn't going to make a video at all because I feel a little bit, I feel a lot guilty about this research, because my drinking behavior back when I was a heavy drinker was to drink every night in front of the TV. That was my thing. You know, I'd get home from work and the first thing I would do is open the bottle of wine. And then I would sit in my armchair and put the TV on. And I would slowly turn into a zombie in front of the TV, you know. My kids would come and talk to me. My wife would come and talk to me, and I would kind of, you know how it goes. You're like, back into zombie mode, staring at the idiot box. And this was my routine for, years, a decade or more. And reading this research is uncomfortable for me, because during my heaviest drinking period in my life, it's when my kids were the youngest and when they were growing up, you know, and there's no doubt that I missed huge chunks of their childhood because I was a zombie in front of the TV or in bed. And there is no doubt that I sent profoundly wrong messages to my children by my behavior. And this latest research that has been conducted shows that 15% of children have asked their parents to drink less. Now, you might think, well, 15%, that's quite small, but that's 15% of children who've recognized that something is wrong. And children don't tend to do that, really, because we tend to look at what our parents are doing as the leading example. You know, and certainly up to the age of 7, anything that our parents do is considered fact. This is why kids buy into the Father Christmas and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny, because they have no reason to doubt the information from this very trusted source. Because from their point of view, this source, without this source, they die. They can't survive without these two people, or even one person if it's a single parent family. So they don't question what this person is doing until they get over the age of 7. But the thing is, you see, if you've been watching this behavior up to the age of 7, you're unlikely to get to the point where you start questioning things and go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. Because it's all you've ever known. So the fact that 15% of children have said to their parents, I want you to quit drinking, is a startlingly high number. I'm surprised it's any percent at all. Because drinkers are not born overnight. You don't just wake up one morning an alcoholic. This is how slow and insidious the alcohol is. It's like quicksand. You slowly sink lower and lower and lower into the pit. But I think the most worrying statement from this research is they asked children to explain what alcohol is. And the most common description was that it is like candy for grown-ups. That's insanely bad. I mean, you think about kids. What do they think about candy? How much do they love candy? How excited do they get when you give them candy? So what they're looking at here is alcohol, the second most addictive substance on planet Earth, that kills 2.5 million people every year, that causes misery and destruction, financial chaos, and a whole raft of other terrible side effects. They're looking at this and going, one day I will have grown-up candy. This is a lethal situation that we are breeding for our children. And I don't know any drunker, and I've met thousands, who would want to encourage their child to take the same path as them. Think about it. If your child came up to you, when they're an adult, and said to you, Mom, Dad, life is terrible at the moment. I'm so stressed at work. My boss is giving me far too much work. I'm not getting paid enough. And, I'm just so stressed. I'm going to start drinking every night. You're unlikely to say, great idea, carry on, that'll help, are you? I mean, really, would you recommend that to your child? Would you recommend that course of action to your younger self? Unlikely. So take a look at this research because it's hard to read, but I think it's important. Use it as motivation. If you're a family man or woman, if you have children, use this as motivation that you need to get this poison out of your life. There are no benefits to alcohol, not a single one, not for you, and certainly not for your children.